welcome back to my channel. My name is Elise and I am from New York, but I'm currently living in Switzerland. And today I'm going to be talking about my first year of marriage. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, Hendrik and I just celebrated our 6-year dating anniversary over the weekend. And we've been married, it was 1 year in August. And a few weeks ago, I saw that they did a Q&A on the Betches Brides Instagram, which I love that account. I think they have like really funny wedding content. And I just thought that the questions that their followers asked were really interesting. So I screenshot a few of them and I'm going to sit down and answer them today. I just thought this would be a really fun thing to look back on. Once we've been married for like 5, 10, 20 years, maybe my answers will change. And yeah, it's been a really amazing year. For anyone who doesn't know us personally, we, like I said, met 6 years ago when I was an exchange student here in Switzerland, and then I had to go back to the States after my exchange year for university, so we were long distance for 4 years, and now we're married and I live in St. Gallen with him. And yeah, let's just dive into the questions. The first question is, how do you decide whose fam to spend the holidays with? For us, that's a pretty calculated decision every time, because in order to spend a holiday with my parents, it's an 8-hour flight transatlantic situation where we're going for 10 to 14 days. So it's very thought out way in advance. So most of the time we do spend holidays or special occasions with his parents because they're 2 hours away from us. But, you know, luckily with technology the way it is, we get to connect with my parents very often. Is it worth it to have an engagement party, or is it a waste of money? I think it's totally worth it to have an engagement celebration. We got engaged in New York City and I have a lot of cousins there, and then we all just like met up in a bar for a drink, and it was so nice to see everyone. And then a couple of days later we had like a dinner at one of my aunt's houses with a few of my aunts and uncles and my parents, and like it was just so special to see people. It wasn't a formal party, there were no gifts. Some of them gave us a card, and it was just nice to hug my family and have them celebrate the moment with us. And I don't think a formal party is really necessary, but it's definitely something to celebrate. What is the most unexpected challenge that arose, and how did you overcome it? I think anyone in our position would say that the pandemic was very unexpected. Hendrik and I went from seeing each other like 3 to 4 times a year in like vacation holiday mode to now being together all day, every day, locked in our little 1-bedroom apartment. So it was like one extreme to the other, and it did have a lot of challenges, but I think we found our way through it pretty well. How did your relationship change after marriage? Kind of going on the same vein as the last question, because we spend so much time without the other, we had to be really independent people, and I made a lot of friends that never met Hendrik and have never known me as like Hendrik's girlfriend or Hendrik's wife. They just know me as Elise. And now we do everything together and we're together every day, and figuring out how to lean on each other and give in to that desire to be needed and to need someone else was hard sometimes. I mean, we're just put up those walls and those barriers and try to protect ourselves from a lot of things in the world, and to let those down was challenging, but I think we're better people for it, for sure. Did you decide to have joint or separate bank accounts? I kept an account in America. Hendrik still has a private savings account here, and we have a joint checking account, which we kind of think of as like just the account that like keeps the machine running. We just put what's necessary in there to pay for our life, and we don't worry about like, oh, who's contributing how much, is it all 50-50, because that's not how life is. You know, we can contribute different things at different times. So yeah, and also a fun fact, I can't have a bank account for just me here because I'm American and they don't allow that in Switzerland. So any account that I have at this point has to be a joint account with him, but it's fine, it works out. We both have our own debit cards. How do you balance budgeting for a wedding with budgeting for your first home at the same time? We have always kind of approached budgeting the same way for all the important purchases that we want to make. I mean, before we were buying flights to go and see each other, which were so expensive, and now we're saving for the big ceremony, and after that we don't know what's next. We're thinking of maybe moving abroad again, so we always kind of take every purchase and weigh it against whatever we're saving towards and just understand its value in our hearts. But logistically, yeah, we don't have a monthly budget. We track it all through an app, and we try to have monthly financial meetings, which I low-key hate, but pour a glass of wine and it's fine. We figure it out, and yeah, it's good to stay on top of all that stuff. Looking back a year later, what would you change about your wedding or done differently? The only thing I would change is that I would have more than one day between when my family arrived and when the ceremony was, because we had, I guess I didn't even explain this yet, but after we were long distance for so long, we decided we were going to do whatever it takes to be together. And at that point, that meant being legally married. So we organized to have, I guess now a Corona bride would call it a mini moni, and we had just our parents, my brother and his grandmother, together in a courthouse, and we did the legal ceremony. And in 2022, so in a couple years, we're gonna have a big, huge wedding reception and informal ceremony with all the people that we love the most. But for the actual ceremony that we had last year, my parents came from New York to Switzerland, and so that's like a destination wedding. And so if you're having a destination wedding, give people a couple of days to settle in before the actual ceremony, because otherwise they will be a bit jet lagged. But my family rallied and we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. First year anniversary gifts. So yes, we exchanged gifts. Hendrik organized a weekend in the Alps for me. I did a vlog about it, which I will link below, and I got him these wine, champagne, prosecco flutes in America. They are from India. They're hand carved and they're made of metal. I don't know what metal, but they sound really pretty when you cling them, and they're just really beautiful. So we're looking forward to using those at our big wedding as well. How many people did you have at your wedding? So at the original ceremony, it was 8 people total, and at the big wedding, we're inviting about 140, and we're expecting around 80 because it is a destination for a lot of the guests. What do your ring and wedding band look like? So I will include a picture here. When we went long distance, we chose to get promise rings, and Hendrik still wears his promise ring band on his wedding finger, and I now wear mine as a little accessory on my thumb. And I just chose to stick with my engagement ring for the ring exchange at the ceremony, and we will get new wedding bands for the big wedding. So stay tuned, because I don't know what they'll look like yet. How many times have you been hit with the baby question, and how do you handle it? I think because we got married so young, I was 23 and he was 22. Is that what? No, we were both 22. Yeah, we were both 22 at the time, and all our family accepts that that is too young to have a baby right now, so no one has asked us yet, and they all are well aware that our plan is like 5-ish years we're gonna start thinking about it, so luckily haven't had to worry yet. How do you split household chores and duties? Right now I'm not working because of the coronavirus. I was let go, so I am here all the time, and Hendrik is currently studying. All of his classes are done remotely, so we're both here, but I do take on a lot of the responsibility of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry because I have the time to do it. But he is really helpful. When I was working an office job, he was so great about jumping in and helping, and I'm trying to get better about being able to ask for the help that I need. So like sometimes I just have my way of doing it and I just want to do it so I know it's right, and I'm trying to like calm that down in myself, but he is a really great partner with all that stuff. Did you have a religious ceremony? We did not. In the original ceremony, it was very legal. They actually had a reading, and it was one of the Swiss laws about how the husband and wife need to legally help each other through everything they face, which I thought was a nice law to read, but it kind of made me laugh. And then neither of us are very religious, so for the big wedding, we're just going to have probably our own vows and maybe like a poem or something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, not very religious. In 2020, would you replan and do a micro wedding or postpone original plans to 2021? I would stick with what we did of having a ceremony of just our family together and then waiting to celebrate with everyone when it was safe to do so. I absolutely loved having a day with just the 8 closest, well, it was the 6 closest people in our lives, and it was just actually a day I'd never expected to have, but I'm so glad that I did. It added this like really meaningful, special day to our story that I was so happy to share with just my nearest and dearest. It was all in German, so half the people in the room had no idea what was going on, but it was really, really a lovely day, and it was such a great opportunity for our families to kind of bond and get to know each other and just have all our very favorite people around, and it was just really nice. But I am looking forward to having that big ceremony and reception eventually when we can get everybody together. It's going to be so much fun, and it really is about celebrating the marriage and the love. And some people wait a couple of hours between the ceremony and the reception. We chose to wait a couple of years. You gotta do you. Where was your dress from? I actually picked up this dress at a little boutique in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. They had really ornate prom dresses in the window, and I just thought, well, let's go in. Maybe they'll have something fun. And I just found this beautiful dress. It was super simple, really elegant. Kids or no kids at the wedding? This is a hard one because actually 3 of my cousins are currently pregnant. I don't really know what we're gonna do. Maybe they'll be invited to some of the wedding or not the whole wedding. Maybe we'll have like a nanny situation to watch all the kids in a designated location. I don't know. I definitely think that you have to assess your own family situation and touch base with the actual mothers of what they're comfortable with, because I would rather figure out a compromise solution than have none of those families there. That would really suck. So I don't know, stay tuned, we'll see. Thank you all so much for watching this. Like I said, this was a really fun video that I was looking forward to doing. Thank you to Betch's brides or any of their audience if they happen to find me here. Those questions were really interesting, and as I was reading the bride, Ashley, who's on their staff, I was reading her answers and I was like, oh, I would answer this, I would answer that. So I was like, oh, I'll just record it. And it's something for me, like I said, to look back on in the future. But yeah, I will leave all the Betch's handles down below because they have so many different like niche meme content accounts on Instagram, and I love all of them, and they have podcasts and lots of different things. So definitely check that out below. Like I said, I'll also leave our anniversary vlog down below, and thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you again next week. Bye!